What's up, AFTERBUZZers? There was so much temptation tonight, but don't be tempted to look away. We have a lot of things to discuss in the Lucifer after show. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Let your booty do that yoga.
I love this song so much. Oh, what's up tonight? We are here with the Lucifer After Show, Season 2, Episode 8, Trip to Stabby Town. Ali Kona is sick, or not sick. I'm sick. She's not sick. She's gone tonight, so I'm filling in today in her seat. Hopefully, I will keep you all entertained as much as she does, but we'll have fun tonight. I am Ryan Graham here, and I will be running the show tonight, I guess. Is that a weird way to say that? You can find me on Twitter at Ryan with 2 N's Graham and on Instagram at Instagram. And I am joined by my lovely co-host.
Yes, indeed. Hi, I'm Samantha Benitz. Guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Samantha_Benitz. And I also just downloaded Snapchat, Sam_Benitz. No stories or anything yet, but hey, I'm figuring it out.
It's a work in progress.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't want to, you can't throw it all at once.
Yeah.
You just got your new iPhone, so you got baby steps with the iPhone.
Yeah, I got my first iPhone today, people. Don't judge me.
Hey, it's a brand new toy. And speaking of brand new toys, we're going to talk about an old toy today. So,
an ancient toy.
An ancient toy, really. I don't know if it's a toy. It's actually a very dangerous weapon. So today's case featured Azrael's blade, which is this ancient, super destructive knife that, destroy souls. It doesn't just oh, I killed you. It's you're gone for forever.
You're just
Weird.
done. Mm-hmm.
I wonder what does that even mean? How can a soul be destroyed? Do you think that's a real thing?
I know. I mean, they're just saying it obliterates, and I'm just thinking, it's strange to me because I thought Uriel was going to come back, or just the fact that the blade was used again is interesting. So now it is a real blade. So we kind of maybe confirmed that.
Yeah, we thought for a second that oh, maybe this isn't a real blade. Maybe this was a decoy and Uriel is still out there.
Exactly. Just putting the body there to just kind of sidetrack them for a little while. But yeah, now it's real. So I don't know. The fact that it can kill souls, that's a very dangerous thing. And to see how Lucifer was when he held it tonight and just kind of his reaction was, okay, he's angry, and that's something we don't always see unless he's kind of ignited by somebody or something. And just to see his mom kind of get him that angry was
weird.
telling.
It was kind of scary. Lucifer doesn't seem to be the type of person who loses control of his emotions at all. So to kind of have this moment where you see it and it's I don't know what's going to happen. But mom noticed. So she was quick to go, okay, I see where this is going.
Yeah, of course, honey. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to drop that tonight.
Let me shut that down. And that's weird that it has that effect on Lucifer, this celestial being, because it with people makes people want to just kill people all the time. So apparently to us humans, it makes you just want to go on a trip to Stabby Town.
Yeah, that was funny. They're so they eat your pudding or something small, you leave the toilet seat up and he's
you're
gone.
Gonna die. Well, so tonight we saw the first murder that we saw happened in broad daylight. And I remember as soon as it happened, we looked at each other and go, no one's going to intervene and stop this. This guy tackles this girl off of a bike, chases her, and she runs into an alley. And I'm like, what are you doing? That seems like the worst place to go.
Area. You're in a public place. That was the time to get a crowd. And for the fact that nobody helped. And some guy even got pushed down on the floor. I'm thinking if I got pushed down, I'd be really scared. Okay, some girl over there needs help. And it's not going to be in 5 minutes. It's now.
Right now.
Yeah.
That was the weird. I was like, why is no one following this girl to the alley? It wasn't she hit one person. It was she was running into several people, and it's not one of those people thought, we should go investigate this man chasing this.
Yeah. And he's wearing a hood. He's got the full description. He looked creepy. And so he just brings her into this alley, and then she knows him. The conversation that they had even right before he stabbed her, when she's just oh, it's you.
Yeah.
At that point, if I recognize somebody and they're in that attire and they have that demeanor, I'm already, I'm going the other direction.
Right. Yeah. So that was an interesting thing. But I mean, I guess it opened up this idea that this blade has an ancient power over people, and that it controls you and it makes you just go nuts. You don't even know what you're doing, even, because we saw several people holding a knife and they had no idea what was going on, and they were just whoa, what is this power? So it's an interesting thing to see in the show, because I don't feel like we've seen humans be affected by the celestial beings in such a way, other than when Lucifer uses his power to tell me what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's a good point. Yeah, it takes them over, and that's very strange because most of the time it seems like she wouldn't have expected that from that guy.
Right.
So that's why she was kind of like, oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
Like,
this is weird.
we
Yeah.
can be cool. Like, no need to get crazy. And at that point, it was already too late because when they get overcome with that emotion or whatever it is, this power, then they're pretty much like gone. It's over their head.
Exactly.
Because we saw that even with Dan. Like, he wasn't himself until the power kind of left him and he realized, like, oh
what am I doing? Yeah, and it's crazy how quick it turns off. We saw several people, Dan included, and there was this series of murders that happened. As soon as they let go of the weapon, like the woman who murdered the yoga guru, she was like, oh, what, did I do that? Like, she didn't remember. So it's weird to see that this power is out there and it is like
heat of passion right there.
So on this journey with the knife, we find out that the grave has been grave where Uriel was has been dug up, and so we see Lucy, Amenadiel, and Maze trying to track down this dagger because they don't want people close to them. So Chloe and Dan, they don't want them to figure out, okay, this is like beyond just this case. This is a huge deal.
Totally.
So they send Amenadiel and Maze on this kind of goose chase together to figure out where the dagger is, and we kind of see them have this really sweet moment. I was excited to kind of see them kind of have a little bit of time together, and they have to work on this tension that they clearly have. So I don't know, what did you think about that?
I know. First and foremost, I love his new like hipster style now that he's not like a full angel anymore. I'm like, yes, the beanie, the necklace, and this V-neck tee, yes, it looks good and it's working for you. And I love his reaction to Maze as well, you know, just the fact that he was trying to not, you know, give her a compliment, but then he's like, yeah, you in those tight pants and your tight body, it's kind of awesome too. And I don't know, their bond is so awesome to me, and I like how they both make each other a little bit vulnerable, but yet he still likes her spunky and sassy side, how she's like, yeah, you know, it's awesome.
He like wants to not want her, but everything in his fiber is like, this just weird, just I guess even celestial attraction towards her. So it was fun to see them kind of like, he wanted to insult her and was like, I have nothing, everything about you's perfect. So it was kind of
that's
cute.
why they balance with each other too, because he has that softer side and she has that like tougher side. So they're a good fit, I think.
I know. I can't wait to see where they go, because I know that there's no way they're done. I can't quit you.
Wait, so what would their relationship name be?
Oh, Aminadays? What would their relationship? We have the live chat. But what you guys tell us what you think Amenadiel and Maze's their ship name. What would their relationship name be? Please let us know in the comments. And thank you for being here tonight. Never take Dan's pudding. Yes. Yes, Ricky,
he labeled it, people.
He did. It was clearly labeled. Otherwise, Dan will cut you. So
I know. Hey, it's like that Snickers commercial. It's like, don't eat my snacks. Well.
Exactly. Dan needed a Snickers tonight. We hold on. We have Danielle. Sorry, she said Amenadiel's attitude towards Maze seemed so strong, but now it seems so right. I agree. I love his attitude towards her. I think that they're going to be a fun couple to watch. They're not a couple yet, but we'll see where it goes. So another relationship that we see kind of reconnect tonight was a relationship between Dr. Linda and Lucifer. So last episode we saw Maze kind of get Dr. Linda to ease up on her I guess fear that she had, so we see her now reconnecting with Lucifer, but she seems to be a little distracted. She can't seem to keep what's going on with Lucifer's life in the forefront, because she's like, well, what's hell like? So
the angel of death is a chick.
Which is, valid questions. I think if I met the devil, I would feel the same way. I would be like, wait, before we talk about you, please tell me all of these things. Am I going to hell? Do you know?
I'm like, you know what? That's only kind of fair. At this point, you just opened up this huge bag of worms to her, and she wants to know what's going on. You know, any person would be curious once you know this person is in your close circle. Like, you're going to want to know the details. So, I don't know. I think it would be cool if he gave her that peace of mind and just kind of sat with her for an hour and said, ask away. Yeah, like,
do you think that conversation could be had in an hour?
You're right. It would take like a lot of alcohol in just like several hours.
And then she even comes to terms with like, oh my God, I slept with the devil. He's like, you're welcome. And like, so yeah, I think it would take a little bit longer than an hour to kind of like really decompress.
I know, that's so funny. It really felt like she didn't realize that until tonight. And she was like, wow, is that going to be okay later?
I know, yeah, is this going to come back to am I going to go to hell from this? Oh, we're getting a couple of names from you all about the relationship between Amenadiel and Maze. Mazadiel, I love that. There's Azrael. Oh wait, no, that's Azrael. I'm like, wait a minute, I was reading the wrong thing. There's so many names. I think Mazadiel wins. It looks like that is what most people are saying. I mean, that's a cool one. I think I like Amenadaze better, but whatever.
It sounds like I'm in a daze.
Yeah, but they're in a daze of love. They're saying Dr. Lindsay got over it. Yes, she did. Linda. It's Linda. Not Linda. Yeah, I was like, so she did get over it. I thought the same thing. Dre, we agree. I think that it's fun that she got over it because her being scared of it, like, she still had to come to terms with, I've known you for so long and we've had this relationship. Right. So we definitely need to, like, I only know more about you now, so it's time to move forward.
Which I'm glad that she had a moment to, like, freak out, because I think if she would have accepted it wholeheartedly off the bat, it would have been, like, a little strange, unless she already felt that, initially. So the fact that she had no idea and it was like, what? Yeah. Like, oh, you're being serious. That wasn't like a joke.
And that's what she was saying tonight. She was saying, I thought you were just the run-of-the-mill, like, not psychopath, she didn't call him that, but like kind of like delusional person. And like when it comes out that, oh, all of these things are real, that's scary. That's got to be scary to deal with. Like, finding, because I don't know, I feel like sometimes people confess things to you and you're like, oh, okay, that's a joke.
Not so bad.
Like, oh, no. Okay, you're telling me the real you. So kind of very frightening. Also, I love the Trump joke that he had.
I know, they made sure to throw that. We had to rewind for a second. We're wait, was that a Donald Trump joke?
Part of me hopes that they reshot that scene just for that joke, because it's so topical right now.
Exactly. I was thinking, like, that's very good, because this is probably shot ahead of time. So either they did another scene or something.
I don't know. I'm curious to find out, because that was a clever little line, and I think it was kind of funny for them to throw that in. So speaking of Lucifer, he also kind of had this new budding friendship / faux romance with Ella. So we saw him and Ella exploring their kind of friendship while he used Ella to work on his other side of the case. So it was kind of cool to get to know Ella a little bit more, but it did not sit so well with Chloe. So we saw her getting a little bit jealous, and I don't know, do you think she was right to be jealous about it?
Yeah, I mean, she's closest to him, and she brought him into the precinct, so she's like, that's mine. Back off. We're not a thing yet, but, they are. It's like, clearly there's something if he's hanging out with her every day. And the funny thing is Ella's not really trying to be like that. So that was the cool part, is it wasn't like a malicious act, and she was, obviously just helping him. But I did think that their bond was cute, and I like how they can both be so open to each other, because the fact that she brings him to the church later, and just the fact that she's even willing to go to this grave site and kind of do this, behind the scenes work.
And to keep it from her coworkers. She agreed to go along with it, which is very, like, I don't know if I would agree with that, because I feel like, oh, you're taking me to this grave. She knows
like,
this is
how
clearly
did
a grave.
You know about this? Because that's a little strange.
Yeah, and she just kind of goes along with it. Liam, he shipped relation. He gave them a name, Lucy and Ella. It's Lucella. I kind of like that. I think that's
Lucella.
fun. I think that could be really fun. Yeah, Lucella. That could be a fun little couple. Yes, thank you all for giving us your comments in the live chat. We will be kind of going with Lucy and Ella at the murder scene. What about it, Mev? Let us know.
I know. I love this comment from Danielle. I also love the look on Lucifer's face when Ella hugged him.
Yes. Oh, okay. And I think I know what you're saying. At the murder scene, when Ella is describing how they all murdered, and it was very sexual.
Yeah, Chloe's like, okay, you don't need to use him as the model. It's very clear what happened when it's not. But
it's like you're flaunting your relationship in my face. I get it. No, that was a very funny scene. That was very, very cleverly written. I liked that a lot. How do you call Amenadiel and Chloe Black and Decker? I don't think I get that. I think, but okay, that's funny. Elfer, that's kind of funny too. The relationship name between Lucy and Ella. But speaking of them, I think it's also interesting that her favor was to take him to church. So what, I don't know. I feel like that's interesting because this whole time he's reached out to God a couple of times and God doesn't respond, and that kind of seems to be a recurring theme in the show. Like, oh, let's talk to God, but God doesn't answer.
Exactly.
So they're just like us because we know we talk to God and we're like, where are you? So it's kind of interesting to see celestial beings having the same type of relationship. But Ella is taking Lucifer to church, and I don't know. How do you feel about Ella saying, since my relationship with the big guy, talking about God, I've been able to answer a lot of questions. Like, do you think that she's on to Lucifer, or how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think she's on to something. I don't think she's put her finger on it just yet. She probably hasn't figured it out, but I do like that she sees that he's kind of lost or like looking for something. Like, I think she picks up on things. She's very keen to detail, and that's kind of her job and just her as a person. So the fact that she was willing to give him a chance off the bat and not really know who he is, and she automatically trusts him. And I think it's good because Chloe obviously trusts him too, so she already knows that he's kind of an okay guy at least.
Just an okay guy. I mean, he is the devil, but he's okay, exactly. I guess.
Like, we can't quite say he's like horrible yet because he's done some good things in the past few episodes that kind of prove otherwise. But yeah, it's interesting, and I don't know what's going to happen when he goes inside the church like that. I mean, I think he's actually been inside a church before when he was fighting with Uriel.
They were in a church. It might have been abandoned, or at least it was not, there were not people present, but
right.
They were in the
so
church,
would it be different if there's people in the church, if there's godly people? I don't know.
I was afraid. I was like, oh, is he gonna burst into flames? That's like my mind instantly with her. I was like, as soon as he steps foot into this church, it's gonna boom and explode. Like,
and I think it was funny how he just leaned on like, oh, there's a hot girl going in, so I'm gonna go in. I'm like, you want to go in the church anyways, but you can
use it as your excuse.
I think he wants to rebuild that relationship, even if he doesn't say it.
Oh, for sure. I do. I think that is gonna be one of the big turning points, is that he does want to have some type of connection with God. Because I mean, I think that this show constantly reminds us how, and I feel bad saying this, similar we are to the devil, because we all like yearn to have that relationship. Now, I mean, some type of spiritual relationship, if not with God, with people in general. And I think I feel like the show
and the temptations of like being a human. It's so easy to think like I can be a perfect human with no vices and no bad qualities, but it just kind of shows that everybody has their own thing that they're dealing with, and that's kind of the identifiable thing about each of the characters,
is that they're all a little human, which means we're all a little devil.
Exactly, a little devil and angel,
Yes. Let's see what some of the people are saying. We have Renji saying, I think Chloe will be the fourth person to know the truth about Lucifer.
I like fourth. Number four is probably about right, because there's going to be a few other people are going to catch on before.
Wait, I don't know. How do you think she'll take it? Because she was asking him tonight when she got a little jealous. Chloe was asking Lucifer that about, no, you can talk to me about it. He goes, I can't. The last person I told kind of flipped out. So do you think he will? I mean, ultimately, I think he has to. But how do you think she'll take him opening up and being 100% honest with him? Do you think she'll take it seriously?
I think she's going to be mad at first because she's going to feel like he lied to her because he didn't open up and say it. That's how I feel like a lot of girls are,
But he has been telling the truth.
He has, but he hasn't come out and said it plainly. And even though he's, kind of told her a few times, he hasn't said like, look and listen to me. Like this, you need to believe this. So I, for some reason, feel like she's going to be mad that he didn't say something earlier. But at this point, there's definitely romantic feelings for both of them. And the fact that she got jealous tonight and even had that conversation with Dan, and, he's like, oh, dear Ella, all like fanning the flames. I'm like, stop.
You're trying to instigate this.
So he's getting mad. And the way Lucifer reacted to when he found out, and he just had this little like smirk that I could tell, oh, she likes me like that. Like, maybe,
there's something here.
Yeah. But he did give her the little joke, like, maybe we can be friends and hang out naked.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, we're not there yet. But I see the glimmer of hope in both of their eyes that maybe it'll someday get there.
I think it's so weird that he is surprised, because he did seem to be surprised by her having a little jealousy. And I'm like, there's this clear tension between you two.
Yeah.
And like, are you really surprised by this?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think that I mean, and I guess it's easy to be an outsider and watching them, but they seem so pointed towards each other. Like all of the interactions are like, yes, just go ahead, just make out already.
Yeah, like I want them to have at least another moment. Like I thought that was really cute tonight, but it was interesting now to throw Elle up in the mix because that kind of made her want to stand up and fight for her man in essence because she hasn't needed to before this. So
Right, and because I feel like she's so used to having Lucifer kind of like throw himself at her and taunt her that it's weird to kind of, at least for her to feel like, oh, maybe he's not showing attention, maybe he's moved on from me. Because I think that everyone likes to have that attention, and when that attention's not there, it's like, wait a minute.
Exactly.
Wait a minute, what about me? So.
yeah, and like she's seen him with other women, so I think she knows like girls throw themselves at him, but yet again, like the relationship that she has feels more substantial, I think. So when she saw the same kind of spark, you know, she thought with Ella, she's like, wait a second, so this isn't just like he's attracted to her, he likes her.
Right.
And that freaked her out more.
It was. And I think that it's scary because it's like, wait, no, I really like you. I know that I'm not playing a game, but I know that this is not like an official thing, but we're supposed to be an item. So what about me?
Yeah.
The other thing about Ella is that she confronted Lucifer tonight about this mysterious side case because she noticed that the footmarks were the same. And so it's like, okay, what are you studying? What are you really doing? So she is kind of onto the idea that he has some type of secret. I don't think she is like there with like, okay, you're lying and you are actually the devil and like there's this celestial thing going on, but she knows that there's something up with Lucifer. And he kind of got out of telling her the truth and kind of like alluded to, oh, I'll let you know later, but she knows something's going on there. And I don't know. What do you think about that?
No, I agree. And the fact that she brought him to the church later was an interesting choice given that they had that conversation prior to that. So, yeah, now I'm thinking definitely she's on to him in some way and she sees that he's kind of like a lost soul in some regards, but she might not think he's the devil. She probably just thinks like, poor guy, probably what Dr. Linda thought off the bat. How, you know, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I'm loving their dynamic and I like how she's been just a really cool help as far as like with Chloe so far, and like she doesn't really cross the line. So do you think that they will end up becoming romantic at all, Ella and Lucifer, or are they going to stop that?
I don't think that they will. I feel like someone else is going to have to be her love interest. I feel like Lucifer has no interest in her in that way, but I do feel like Ella has someone in the comments last week were saying that she was kind of Wiccan or has some type of not power, but she has like a sixth sense for
an
the
ability,
supernatural.
to
so
see it.
I feel like that is what's going to be her angle. I don't think she's going to be romantically involved with Lucifer, but I definitely feel like she kind of has a little bit of a way with the supernatural, and so I think we're going to see her kind of expose herself in that sense. But I don't know. We'll definitely find out.
I'm interested to see.
Yeah, and speaking of supernatural powers, another weird thing that happened tonight was when Dan had the knife and he fought it. So he was literally thrashing around trying to cut Lucifer, and then there's this moment when he kind of like is snapping out of it and he pulls himself away, at least for a moment, from the knife to where he could realize what he was doing and that it was wrong. Right. And that's kind of
weird.
Oh, weird. I'm like, whoa, you're human. How can you do this? So I don't know. That's, what do you think? I
don't know. And the things he was yelling when he was stabbing about, he initially started with, you destroyed my marriage. Yeah. Which, okay, I can see how he feels that way down the line. Down the line, I think. I know obviously they were separated and he clarifies that afterwards, but I do think he feels some resentment towards Lucifer for showing his ex-wife all this attention, in essence. So he's probably like, you're here when he could be trying to like mend their relationship,
right? Because he still has this draw towards Chloe, and there's still this sense of like, oh, I want to be with you, but I know I can't. And like you can see that because it looked like he was trying to push the whole Ella and Lucifer thing so she would get upset and run back to him. Like,
exactly.
He was yeah. Like I feel like
dear Ella, he likes her.
He likes her, but I like you. I'm here. And so, but it's interesting because he like did that. The knife took him away, and he was kind of speaking his truth, and it was like he felt that Lucifer caused all this trouble for him, and it's like, okay, how much of this is really how you feel? And I mean, I don't know. Detective Clueless Douche, hashtag Detective Clueless Douche from Chaotic Mayhem. So you don't like that. Dan has superpowers from sure. I agree. I feel like him being able to pull himself away from it is not
normal.
Like, not normal. I feel like that we're going to find that was very, very telling of Lucifer, or of Dan. We have Danielle saying, some of Lucifer's powers could be rubbing off on the humans around him, just like their qualities are rubbing off on him.
Interesting.
Wow. No, I've never even thought about it that way, because we have seen all the celestial beings becoming more and more human. And we haven't, I've never even thought about it that way, but that is a very good point. It's possible that by him becoming more human, he is pushing his abilities off on other people. Wow.
It could be. Yeah, I know. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. And I'm interested to see, because all of them seem to have something, like Chloe, and I just don't know still. Like, that's been a question for 2 seasons. Like, does Chloe have some underlying power? Is she an angel?
Right.
I don't see her being a demon in any regard.
No,
just her personality doesn't seem like one underneath. But I don't know.
But yeah, maybe there's this, like, there's this sense of, like, you know how Hercules is in Greek mythology as a demigod? Mm-hmm. So maybe it's like something partial, like that. Like they're descendants of someone who was celestial. Or
that makes sense.
It's like maybe in that, like, select people on Earth, select humans have some type of ability. There are a lot of people commenting saying that they think that Ella is a medium. So
that's a very good suggestion.
Yeah, I agree, because I feel like last week I pointed out in her clothing, she always kind of has one piece of jewelry or something like that.
She had that like moon necklace.
And it's always something that's just a little spiritual, like, and not like spiritual in the religious sense, but spiritual in like okay, this seems a little supernatural.
Right.
And I feel like costuming is very important and very intentional, and I feel like those are little hints. So Danielle, I'm with you. We are with you.
Yes, 100%.
Thing. I think that's a thing. So it'll be interesting to see where Dan goes, because that moment right there was like, okay, that's important. So
yeah, and that knife, like the fact that what we saw tonight, there's several things, and we have to address. There was kind of a funny moment. It's not funny, but it's a little bizarre.
Oh yeah,
a couple is taking a selfie in front of a murder scene, and we just had to laugh for a moment, not at the content, but more like, really? Yeah. You're not going to notice somebody getting brutally stabbed 19 times,
and it's in your picture.
Yeah, and it's in your picture. You can zoom in the background, like
yeah.
I don't know.
What kind of selfie are we that self-absorbed that we can just take selfies
and you have to hear something? Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. That was just a little funny, but maybe who knows what the powers of this knife really are? We're only kind of learning, and the fact that we saw so many people kill each other in this yoga studio. You know, it was so bizarre.
Orgy that went on.
Exactly. So. Like, I wasn't expecting that, but that shows us what this weapon is capable of. And now that it's in Lucifer's possession, he didn't even want it in the first place to keep it in his house, and now he kind of has to, because where else is it going to go?
I feel like that was intentional. I think he knew the power of the knife, and he knew that it might even have an effect on him, because we saw it towards the end that he started to get riled up about it. And, and his mom noticed, so that was interesting. Before we move into Mom, there are a couple of comments about Chloe, which is a new idea, saying that Chloe is Azrael, the angel of death, because we did learn tonight that the angel of death is a chick. So a chick, that sounds so weird to say, but yeah. So we know that it's his sister. So maybe Chloe is that. But I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like, wouldn't he know? I feel like Chloe seems to be a little bit too delusional is the wrong word, but oblivious to Lucifer, to be an angel. So I don't know about that, but I do think she might have some type of ability. Danielle saying, I see Charlotte's budding coup as a parallel to Hera's rebellion against Zeus, from what I can remember of the story that didn't turn out so well. Yes. So Hera, who was not a very nice, I know the Disney Hercules version, she was not a very nice woman. She did try to overthrow Zeus. I vaguely remember that story. But yes, this is very similar, and we can kind of draw parallels between Greek mythology and stuff. Like, we have Aiko saying, maybe Chloe is a descendant of a celestial being because she's immune to Lucifer's charms. 100%. Yeah. So we're seeing that the people who are around them do appear to have some type of abilities.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I mean, there was still a good point earlier made. I forget who made it, but maybe they're rubbing off on them, and as opposed to them already having these abilities.
And I saw the conversation that Amenadiel's having with his mom and Lucifer's mom, and that was just kind of a strange thing when she mentioned the whole, when God closes a door, he opens a window.
Right.
And then you see she's telling Amenadiel that. So it made me question for a second, like, is Amenadiel in on anything? And I don't think he has the intentions to be, but maybe the mom could be trying to, pry on him while he's vulnerable and make him think, oh, this is for the benefit of your brother. She tried to word it in that way. She wouldn't be so malicious, like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, so like I think she's very plotting and very conniving. So can I ask you? Okay, chaotic mayhem. I agree. Lucifer would have caught on by now if Chloe was Azrael. Can I ask y'all a question? Will Azrael appeal, or who? And who should play her? Sorry, reading is hard tonight. I don't know who Azrael could be. I think that could be very fun to see. I don't think I have an actress in mind, but
I know. Give me time to think about it, because I want to think of a good casting for this.
I do too. We will think of one. If not this week, we'll definitely have a list of people we think who could be Azrael. But back to Mom and Lucifer, their relationship. So this episode, we see her draw a map to a couple of humans to get to this dagger. So clearly she wants it to get out, and her reasoning is, I want God to notice. And it's weird, because it's like, I feel like her wanting God to notice isn't just like, oh, I want attention. I feel like she wants this war, and she even kind of hinted at it. She goes, all of us together united to get God's attention, or however she phrased it.
Right.
But it sounded kind of like a war, right?
Oh, it did. And the fact that she cares so little for humans, you can tell she's like, you really care about these people. Like, why?
Yeah,
they all die. Like, what's the big deal?
Right.
And, just the fact that she has that mentality is kind of telling, and she doesn't really care about the well-being of humans. And that kind of was a big issue with Lucifer and God, even in that Milton story. So it's, the fact that he showed so much attention to humans and they were his just like world. So that could still be an underlying jealousy issue for her as well. You know, oh, why do you care about them so much and not me, your wife? You know, that's...
So, it's interesting to see how human they are in their wants and their desires. And, I mean, I guess like in the theory of the Bible, we are made in their image. Sorry, I'm reading the comments.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Mentioned as an actress, Rebecca Ferguson. I think I forgot that. Danielle, please tell us what you mean by you mentioned a woman named Rebecca Ferguson, because I don't think I know what you mean. Is that the actress that you would like to play?
That's what I was assuming.
Okay, I'll look her up, because I don't think I'm familiar with her, but we'll look her up and definitely we'll send a letter. We'll send a letter up the chain. Maybe we know some people who know some people. Yeah, it's interesting to see how human these celestial beings are and how they kind of have very selfish desires. Because you're right, maybe it was her disdain, Mom's disdain towards human might stem from God's love for them. And she's like, why? I'm your wife. You should love me more and love our children. Yep. You already have children. Why do you need these little creatures, as she calls them? So I never even thought about it that way, but maybe it is like a jealous wife type of situation.
And she's so like careless about like humanity. I can just tell, and I don't know. But it's funny to see her involved as well, like when she was sitting in the office and she's like, like I'm just doing backwards cowgirl and reading law books over a weekend. It's all just no
very
big
casual.
deal. Yeah. So she's acclimating just fine.
Yeah, she seems very bored with human life. It feels very blasé to her. So I don't know. But I do feel like she has this. But when she had that discussion with Amenadiel and she goes, the window's open, I think that is her trying to say something about Lucifer. I think she noticed his anger and that she's like, that anger, we can use that. And so she wants to get back to heaven, but I don't think it's about just being a happy family.
Yeah, I don't think she cares if Lucifer gets back to heaven. And that's why he's smart to say, well, I'm not going back there, because I don't think it would be as easy for him. And I don't think it's going to be easy for her as she thinks. She probably thinks she can just waltz back on in. This is God you're talking to.
Yeah.
He wants to make sure you're really sorry. And if you're not, then...
You're done.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that Amenadiel was so willing to just go along with it? Because she's talking and she's like, we're a united front. And Lucifer's like, no, this is ludicrous. Amenadiel, tell her. And he goes, I agree with Mom.
Right.
That shocked me. I was not ready for Amenadiel to just so quickly. Because he was just a few episodes ago ready to take her back to hell and be like, she has to go. Yeah. And now he's like gung-ho and like,
buddy mom. Yeah. Mama's boy all over again.
Right? Yeah, 100% Mama's boy all over again. Why do you think about that? That's weird.
I don't know. Just the fact that now he doesn't have his powers, I really think he's just on a whole different, mindset at this point. And it's good to have Maze, because I think she's kind of the voice of reason, strangely enough, at many times, because she doesn't get fazed by people's nice words. She's all about action. So if you prove to her that you're there for her, she's going to ride or die for you, like Lucifer. But when it comes to people like Mom, who she knows have other agendas, she's already got that suspicion towards her. So she's not going to be fooled so easily, where when you're emotionally involved, sometimes the blinders go on because you don't want to admit to yourself that you're going to get hurt.
Yeah. I never even thought about it that way. Like it's this like protective shield that she kind of has about herself, and it's like I keep relating everyone to humans. It's like it just freaks me out that they are so much like us. It makes me scared. I'm like, oh my god, am I a demon? I mean, I know I'm literally not a demon, but no, it's interesting to see them have those kind of human-esque, not abilities, but qualities. I also think it's interesting that Maze is very rarely in those meetings that Mom has. I think that is very intentional on Mom's part, because I think that she knows that Maze is on to her, and that Maze is going to shut it down.
Distance is a good thing, yeah.
So I think she intentionally talks to them when Maze isn't around. Because have you noticed that as well?
Oh, yeah.
She's always there, and Maze is like off doing her job, her new job. So
yeah, which is so cute. Yeah. But then again, it's like Maze is now living with Chloe, so that helps. So she's going to be around from time to time, but we haven't really had any interaction between Mom and Chloe yet. And now that she's figured out in the next episode, we kind of see that she might have an agenda. So I don't know. I'm glad to see that now she's kind of, that'll be an interesting plot twist, I think, to now involve Mom and Chloe.
Right.
Because Maze now has a protective feelings towards Chloe, more so because of Trixie, her bond with Trixie.
I love her relationship with Trixie.
I love it. I can't wait to see more of their bond, and I like how Chloe and Maze are actually bonding in some regard too. And they really had nothing in common in the beginning, but now they're kind of getting to know each other, and so
friends. I love it.
And Maze is a good protector. Like, she protects those who she loves. So I think she's a good person to have on your side.
I agree. I 100% agree. And another person to have on your side is a great news and gossip source. That was a fun transition because we do have
TV news.
So we have a couple of pictures. You brought them in, or we have them up. We're going to get them pulled up for you. Samantha, you want to tell us about these Insta posts?
Yes, I love it. So this is a behind-the-scenes pic. They're all getting ready. So yeah, these are all behind the scenes. So it kind of
fun. I love that they're actually. I mean, I don't know why I would expect them not to be friends, but it's cool to see them kind of hanging out backstage and like you get to see a softer side of them because I mean they're not demons obviously, but like sometimes you see it and you're like, oh, I don't know if they're really gonna be friends outside of this. And like, they seem to be having fun. We'll go
and they're all hanging out, getting ready and makeup, like, and they become the character, which is the most interesting part to me, is kind of watching that evolution and just seeing, you know, they can still be fun behind. So it looks like not so much method acting here.
Let's go to the next one over.
I thought this was good, kind of with the pun tonight, and they had this on their Instagram page, and I thought this is so suitable. Lucifer for President 2020.
Honestly, anyone can do it.
Yeah, if Harambe got 15,000 votes,
maybe Lucifer.
Lucifer is up for the
he probably gets elected, or at least a couple votes every year, so we'll see. Maybe Lucifer 2020, we'll see.
I thought that was a good little thing they had. And then, of course, our favorite bromance.
Danifer. Lucifer. I do love them together. I hope that they become real friends. Like, I want them to stay friends in the show, even though they fight. I kind of enjoy their.
And they were tested tonight, and the fact that they were able to prevail shows something about their friendship. So I think we're only going to see more great things between these two. And this is awesome because this is actually Lucifer's stunt double.
Oh, nice! I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I know. Don't recognize him. He's the one driving along, looking just like Lucifer and doing all the awesome stuff as well. So I don't know. I think that's cool.
That is very fun. Oh, he probably takes a lot of the knife. When he got cut tonight, that was probably him getting cut. So good to know that the devil is always protected.
Yes, let the pros do it.
Yes,
and you do awesome.
That was our last picture.
Yeah,
awesome. No, yes, and then so before we go, I think we have to do a couple of predictions. I'm really excited for the predictions.
I am too. There's a lot going on.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Channel my predictions.
Are they coming to you?
They are. They're coming to me. So with the predictions, I 100% believe that next week, we saw a little bit in the preview that Mom is going to be on to Chloe because she needs to get Lucifer on her side. So I think she's going to not try to kill Chloe, but I think she's going to use Chloe as a pawn. I feel like she's going to use Chloe and the dagger to convince Lucifer to join her side. I don't know how, but I think her killing her is too direct and too obvious, and I think Mom is way smarter than that. So I think it's going to be a clever ploy to get Lucifer vulnerable, and then he's going to use a dagger to kill someone else. That is my prediction. So I don't know.
That's a good point, and that would like drive him absolutely crazy because that's his thing. I don't kill people.
Right. You saw how upset
That's
he
his
got.
slogan, yeah.
You saw how upset he got for killing Uriel. So like, imagine if he killed like a human or someone who was completely innocent. At least Uriel was coming at him. So
yeah, and I think that's how he kind of justifies it, but you can tell it's still bothering him. I think that the knife has a lot more powers than we're even seeing at this point, and the fact that Mom, we'll just call her Mom for now, Charlotte, the fact that she knew where the knife was and nobody told her, it was in the middle of nowhere in a grave, and she was able to pinpoint it and find it. She has some kind of connection to this knife. If anything, she may be controlling it.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I've never thought about that.
I don't know. Now I'm thinking she has something to do in the fact how she just kind of let it go tonight. But the thing about the knife I think that she likes is it makes it look like the owner, whoever's holding it, is responsible for the murder versus her, who is like the puppeteer.
I didn't do
this.
This.
I didn't anything. How could you
and also,
me?
we know that she has powers. We haven't seen her use her powers much at all, really, except for that one time. So you may be onto something with this whole she has control over, because we know that she has at least some sort of power. So there might be more to Mom than we know.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for some more Chloe in the mix. I like seeing that. I want to see the two of them meet and how that's going to go. It looks like she kind of brings her in an alley. I don't know if I missed all that, but
all these alleys.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, the alleys are no go the other direction, people. So I can't wait to see that. Maze and Amenadiel more. I'd love to see a little bit of Trixie.
I hope bring Trixie back.
And Maze. Yeah, so we'll see. But I think that's going to be the highlight is the knife next episode and Chloe and Charlotte. So.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. No, awesome. Well, thank you all so much for coming out tonight, watching, joining the show with us. Make sure to like our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, all of the above, and please go to iTunes, subscribe to us, give us comments. That's how we continue things. I am your host, Ryan Graham. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan with 2 N's Graham, and on Instagram at Instagram.
And once again, I'm Samantha Benitz. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Samantha_Benitz. Thanks so much, guys. See you next week.
Thank you for coming. See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.